Hello and welcome to 7.6. So in this section we'll be looking to solve equations when we have rational functions within the equation. The key thing in solving any equation with these fractions is to multiply through by the common denominator to clear out any fractions. So in our first problem, we notice the denominators are both x minus 2. Okay, so what we will do is multiply everything through in the equation by x minus 2. Okay, so we multiply by x minus 2 times 3x minus 1 over x minus 2 equals x minus 2 times 5 over x minus 2 plus x minus 2 times 1. And so what happens as you multiply, the x minus 2's will cancel, and then we could rewrite it as 3x minus 1 equals 5 plus, now distribute the 1, so that would be 1 times x is x minus 2. Okay, so this is what the equation becomes. And now we can simplify by combining like terms on the right. We have 3x minus 1 equals 5 minus 2 is 3 plus x. Okay, equation with variables on both sides. We can subtract x from both sides. 2x minus 1 equals 3. Add 1. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2. So x equals 2. Now, one of the things you want to be careful of when you get x equals 2, you want to see if it makes sense if you plug it into the equation. If you plug it back in, if you plug 2 back in, right, when you plug the answer back into your equation, we end up with a division by 0 case. Okay, we get undefined fractions. Okay, so when that happens, you get an undefined. Okay, so this would be an extraneous solution. Even though you got x equals 2, when you plug in, you get an undefined. So this would be a no solution or empty set. Okay, so be careful when solving these. Always look back, plug it in, and see if it'll make sense in the problem. Okay, let's take a look at 44. Now, to clear out the fractions in 44, we can multiply through by the common denominator. Okay, it would be 2z in this case, right? Just multiply the two denominators together, 2z. Okay, so now multiply everything through by 2z. So we'll do 2z times 4 minus z over z plus 2z times 3 over 2 equals 2z times negative 4 over z. Okay, now doing this, you'll be able to cancel out z's. Okay, here you'll be able to cancel out the 2's. And here you'll be able to cancel out the z's. So let's see what's left. So we have 2 times 4 minus z plus z times 3, which is 3z, equals 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. Okay, distribute the 2 into the parentheses, so 2 times 4 is 8, minus 2 times z is 2z. Okay, combine like terms, we have negative 2z plus 3z, so that would be a plus z, equals negative 8. Subtract 8, so we have z equals negative 16. And now if you plug negative 16 in, you don't get any and you don't get any fractions with 0 in the denominator. Okay, so you're good to go. Alright, questions, you could always email me. Alright, let's take a look at 45. Okay, you have x plus 4s and you have a 5. So your common denominator will be 5 times x plus 4. Okay, so multiply everything through by 5 times x plus 4. Okay, so 5 times x plus 4 times 3 over x plus 4 minus 5 times x plus 4 times 2x over 5 equals 5 times x plus 4 times 3 over x plus 4. Okay, now cancel out the denominators. So x plus 4 and x plus 4, 5 and 5, x plus 4 and x plus 4. So now let's take a look at what's left. So we have 5 times 3, which is 15. Here we would have a negative, the 2x, bring it in front, so you'd have a negative 2x times x plus 4. And then here, bring the 3 in front, multiply by the 5, so it'll be 3 times 5, so 15. Okay, so if we see this, we could do minus 15 both sides. So we have negative 2x. We could distribute that into our parentheses. So we have negative 2x squared minus actually what we could do is, before we do that, let's see what we get with this next step. So we have negative 2x, x plus 4 equals 0. Okay, now set each of these are in factored form, set it equal to 0. So we have negative 2x equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. So that gives you x equals 0 and then x equals negative 4. Now notice what happens if you plug the negative 4 back in. You have negative 4 plus 4 and you get the 0 denominator. Okay, so negative 4 is extraneous. You don't want that one. If you plug 0 in, you're okay. You would end up with 3/4 equals 3/4. Okay, so your only solution here is x equals 0. Okay, let's take a look at 46. We have 3 over m minus 2 plus 1 over m minus 1 equals 7 over, and factor this so that we can see the factors. Okay, multiplies to 2 and adds up to -3. So -2 and -1. Okay, so it looks like our LCD is m minus 2 times m minus 1. Okay, so now just multiply everything through by m minus 2 times m minus 1. Okay, so m minus 2, m minus 1 times 3 over m minus 2 plus m minus 2, m minus 1 times 1 over m minus 1 and m minus 2, m minus 1 times 7 over m minus 2, m minus 1. Okay, so now you could cancel out. Okay, you cancel out m minus 2's here, the m minus 1's here, and then you could cancel out both m minus 2 and m minus 1 here. So let's see what's left. So here this would be 3 times m minus 1 plus 1 times m minus 2 equals, and here we're just left with 7. Okay, distribute the 3, distribute the 1. So 3m minus 3 plus m minus 2 equals 7. Combine like terms. 3m plus m is 4m. -3 and a -2 is -5. Add the 5 to both sides, so we have 4m equals 12. Divide by 4. So we get m equals 3. Okay, and just as a double check, plug it back in, see if any of the denominators equal 0. No, no, and no. So looks like we're good with that one. Okay, and then solving each formula for the specified variable. Okay, so here in each one we're trying to get the t alone, next one we'll get the y alone, and the last one we get the m alone. Okay, so just using our algebra skills. Okay, first thing here, we can multiply by t both sides. That'll cancel with the t in the denominator. So we have tm equals ry. Okay, and then to get that t by itself, we could divide by m and divide by m. The m's would cancel, so we're left with t equals ry over m. Okay, and 48, okay, first thing to do is multiply both sides by 4. So we'll get 4x equals 3y minus 5. We're trying to get the y alone, so let's add the 5, move it to the other side. Okay, so we have 4x plus 5 equals 3y. And then last step, divide by 3. Okay, so you divide by 3, divide by 3, and divide by 3. So we end up with y equals 4/3 x plus 5/3. Okay, let's take a look at 49. We'll try and get the m by itself. Okay, so we have p squared equals 4 over 3m minus q. Let's multiply both sides by 3m minus q. Okay, so that these would cancel on the right. So we have 3m minus q times p squared equals 4. Okay, we could divide by p squared, both sides. So we will have 3m minus q equals 4 over p squared. Okay, next we're going to add q. Okay, so we have 3m equals 4 over p squared plus q. And now normally I would divide by 3. Okay, but if I do divide by 3 on the right, it's going to look like a strange fraction. So here's what we do instead. Multiply by a 1/3. Right, multiply both sides by a 1/3. Okay, so then you'll get m equals, and now you could distribute the 1/3 to each term. So we have 1/3 times 4 over p squared, so that would be 4 over 3p squared plus 1/3 times q would be q over 3. Okay, and then this will be the final answer. Okay, so any questions, reach out to me. Okay, email me. If I don't hear from you, have a good day. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.